Welcome to the Air Moon Eris channel for the Aquarius Zodiac reading, whether it's a sun, moon, rising, Mercury, any significant placement, a stellium, or even cross-watching for a fellow Aquarian, then this is your reading for tonight. So we're going to be using the Rider-Waite Tarot. I'm hoping everybody's doing well. There we go. This came out pretty quickly. Okay, so the first three cards that we have the Page of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Devil. I feel like somebody's like in their feelings, like learning to swim. It's like whatever the situation is that has you in your feelings is, yeah, it's basically getting you to learn how to swim. And I feel like you might be like romanticizing some of it a little bit. Maybe you're getting caught up in the feelings. It's like, I don't know if there's a sense of nostalgia here or if it's just the romanticizing it. And because you're spending time, it's almost like a dreamy energy. It's almost like I'm not really sure what's happened here, but it like leaves you feeling in your head. And I'm not sure if this is coming from like a sense of inadequacy or something like that. Like knowing what it is that you want and wearing rose-colored glasses, and maybe it's not exactly what would really be best for you. Maybe it is, I'm not sure. But not realizing that you're wearing rose-colored glasses, and then maybe when you do start to think about it, how you could move towards a better future or to improve your situation in some form, then it leaves you feeling stuck and trapped. And maybe it's just like that mental anguish of like not knowing how to leave where you're at or how to move forward or something, how to get out of your own way, how to get out of your own head. Maybe you feel like your emotions sort of take over, like your emotions run your life sometimes, I'm not sure. And if it's not the emotions, it's like that mental aspect of the emotions. So I wonder at this point, I'm not really sure because it does put you in a position where you may be feeling stuck. I actually wonder, this is really bizarre. I wonder if some of you are like feeling chained to a person. Because so like normally the Devil, it can be like rumination and it can be like negative thinking and all of that sort of thing and getting stuck in your head. It could also be a Capricorn. Even though this is like an Aquarius reading, there could be a Capricorn as a person showing up, but that's not really what I get. I mean, that could be for some of you, but I actually think that some of you may be feeling stuck in a situation with another person and you don't really want to be there. The other side of it is that I wonder if some of you are like newly opening up to like entering into like a romantic relationship, or even if not like a relationship itself, you're like just starting to put yourself out there again and embody your emotions again and place some sort of emphasis on it or priority on it, or allowing yourself to feel things again. And then maybe it just gets that little bit too deep, and then it's like the blindfold goes on and all swords are up, and it's almost like a trigger or something for some ruminating thoughts, or maybe bringing up the past experiences that have not been pleasant, to say the least. Yeah, I think that's probably more what it is. Yeah, maybe some of you are starting to come out of your shell, you're starting to open up, you're starting to warm up to things, you're starting to like embody your emotions more and be more in touch with what you want. And then there's that level of like wearing the rose-colored glasses. Yeah. Is there anything else here for Aquarius? Something that I'm missing? Okay, so we're going to take some more cards from a different deck. There we go. That was quick. The image on this card's pretty graphic, so I'm not going to put it out, but I'll the card says cruelty, and it's actually the Nine of Swords. So typically Nine of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck is a person that is like crying in their bed with like their head in their hands with the Nine of Swords. And I don't know, it can sometimes be like that left for dead feeling. I don't know if someone's feeling like abandoned or if it's not that. It's like someone's like tortured you, or I know when I say tortured, I don't mean like literally tortured you. I really hope that wouldn't be the case for anyone. But maybe like psychologically, mentally, emotionally, or something like that. It just feels it's very cruel. Whatever happened, and I can understand how you would be put back in this feeling of not feeling like you can really move on and move forward with life from some of the feelings that come up when you think about anything that triggers like a previous experience, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping I'm not just talking in circles here. It's just kind of the way it's coming through. So I'll put that back in. Actually, I might keep it there just upside down just in case we need anything relevant from it again. I feel like someone was like unnecessarily cruel to you. And that this is something that's happened in the past. It's definitely a past thing. It's not something new coming up, although these experiences, these feelings, maybe triggers or emotions might be something coming up, yeah. Okay, here we go. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune card, so it's really just like a gamble to see what happens. Like no one can really say for sure. I really think, even though it's the Wheel of Fortune, I sort of just get like a rolling with the punches vibe. Because you can't control the outcome anyway. It's really like surrendering to the universe. Okay, so we have the Hierophant. They've told me to leave the Magus in reversal. And the Father of Water. So, look, we could have Taurus here. We could have Mercury placements, which are significant, or it could be like a Virgo, Gemini, or I think that might be it. Yeah, okay. It's like I'm looking at these bottom cards and it's like part of me doesn't want to acknowledge whatever's going on here. Like I don't want to look into it. I don't want to be confronted by it. But you know, this is part of the reading. It's just the feelings that maybe come up around this topic. So we'll move on. So I feel like, you know, being the Hierophant, you could be a spiritual person. You could have some sort of like, I don't know what it is, religious type beliefs. It doesn't have to be that. Just like for the lack of a better understanding, because you don't have to necessarily be religious or spiritual to have some sort of connection to the divine or the universe. But that's generally what I'm saying, and I'm trying to not be lazy with how I speak. So yeah, some sort of strong connection to the divine, but I feel like what it is that it may not be something that carries on. It may have been like an enlightening experience, or it may have been being in a higher state of consciousness at some point in time or something like that. I just, you know, normally, because the Hierophant can just be like a position of power or standing or influence or knowledge or wisdom. For this particular one, I feel like this person is imparting wisdom, and that they actually come from a very, like a place of higher states of consciousness, yeah. So, maybe somebody else that you know that has that is acting in this role, but we'll see what else comes up. And Magus. I feel like someone here feels like they got like tricked by the game or something I was getting. So, you know, there's like a couple sides to the Magician, because the Magician can be like the alchemist. The Magician can be the person that like takes all the heartache and the pain and the sorrows and everything in the world and transforms it into all the good things, and they see real evolution, and they can be smart, like they can be intelligent, they can be, I don't know, I just, like, I want to say communicator, but like a fabricator, like of the universe, and I don't know how else to say it. They're a creator. They can also show up as like really manipulative, like a smooth operator, but like a person who knows how to manipulate their environment. And when I look at this card normally, because of some of the symbols that are shown here, I feel like this Magus card is automatically in a state of manipulation. Not necessarily good or bad, because you can be either way, right? It can, that, you know, it's just two different sides to the same coin. But it's almost as if this person has control within the universe to sway these things in their favor, where it's not really them manipulating anything, but rather the universe coming into their power. And I guess the magician could also be like a really good manifester. And so it's kind of like a combination here of things. So I'm not really sure what else could be coming up here, but basically I feel like someone did you dirty, or you feel like someone did you dirty. And I wonder if this person was a person that appeared or posed as a Hierophant. I don't know, I'm being corrected here, and I'm not sure if it's because there's a couple of groups or I've not understood it the way that they've tried to bring it through to me. It's like maybe you were the Hierophant, and then someone else has tried to come in and like white ant the situation. Okay, so there could be, yeah, multiple situations in this group, and yeah, if you've made it this far with me, then that's great. So it's like, maybe you're a person that has a great connection to the divine, and you're kind of humble, and you're here of service, and you have some sort of wisdom to impart to people if they so choose to, you know, take part in that and engage with it. As long as they're engaging with the universe in that like altruistic way that's best for the greatest good or something. I'm not sure how to explain it on the energy that I'm picking up on. I feel like this person came in and pretended to be the same, and the reality of the situation was is that it was really quite hollow. And I think that they still had some, it's like maybe some sort of like intuitive abilities or something like that, enough to pull it off as though they did, so that you could see that they had that there, or real potential there. But a lot of it was not really like an intuition, and a lot of it was not really a connection to the divine. So there was like a small percent that was very real, and there was like a bigger percent that was actually them just being very opportunistic in different situations and being manipulative. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, and you seem almost unbothered by it, and it's like you knew all along, and you're kind of sitting back just waiting to see what it is that they do next, and how they, like, you know, move from one place to the next, how they transmute this within themselves, if they integrate their shadow. If they're accepting of this, if they're willing to own up to it, I think that you would still be cool with it if there was going to be a level of evolution here. So it's really up to them what they do with it. And we've also got the King of Cups, and I feel like that's you in this like mature, all compassionate energy. Why have I put that upside down? That's, oh yeah, that's one. Okay. This is a weird one. I don't know why I was getting it. Some of you could have lost a home, or been kicked out, or asked to leave, or separated from a partner and had to find somewhere else to go or something. I'm not sure what it is. Whatever the situation, it's like some of you lost a home because of this situation. And I feel like some of you are just like waiting to see how this pans out, because it's like you're trusting in the universe and you know that you'll be taken care of. And yeah, you just, I don't know, this is the most bizarre. I'm just going to take a moment and see if I can bring in anything else before I move forward. Okay, I'm just going to try going over the cards one more time and just see. Oh, there's more here with the Hierophant. Okay, so I don't know who it is, but I'm just going to speak about the Hierophant and we'll see where it goes. It's like the Hierophant is humble, they are happy. I think they do embody like a higher state of consciousness, but they're also balanced. Like this person they're here on earth and they're like humble enough and human enough to be able to like integrate the two aspects and have a laugh and engage in their community and, you know, like morale building. And there's like a real sense of homeliness with this person. I think they make everyone feel at home. They make everyone feel welcome. They make everyone feel loved and maybe seen or heard, and they're just imparting wisdom. And I feel like the way that they impart wisdom is not so much about in the things that they say, but maybe in the things that they do. I feel like this person is someone close to you though. I don't even know what to make of this reading so far, so we'll just keep going and hopefully I can string it together at the end so that it makes sense. If this does make sense for you, please let me know in the comments, because it's been really hard to follow from the reading standpoint. I feel like this person has a lot to offer the world, and I feel like they have a position where it's like their reputation precedes them, and that's why they have the position. But also they were given the position because it's like Spirit knew they would never compromise it, they would never stray from the path, they would never abuse it. So it's like this person's like the real deal in terms of the position that they hold. They actually have compassion, they're genuine, they're wise, they've got everyone's best wishes at heart. And yeah. Okay. Let's try more, see what else we got. Now they want to talk about this cruelty. So I felt like I said someone like white-anted, white-heeled, I don't know what the saying is. This, I think for those of you who don't understand it, because I think it's just like a weird Australian slang saying that I've heard people use, and it's not even like a widely known saying either. I'm pretty sure it's white ant. And what it is in reference to is like the termite ants, which I believe are like a white coloured ant that like eat the wood. So what would happen, a lot of the older houses in Australia were like built out of wood, and they would eat the wood from the inside out. So they'd get into like the structure, like the wooden structure of the house, and they'd eat it, and you wouldn't even know that it was being destroyed from within or made weak from within or eaten away or whatever, and until it was basically like too late, because by the time that you could tell the difference, where you could like you know, I don't really know a whole heap about termites, but it's common enough over here. You could like tell if you knocked on the wood or the wall and it like sounded hollow. That's how you knew that you had them, unless you had like some sort of pest professionals come and check out the property using whatever tools and tricks they do. Anyway, and so it's when I say that this person was white anting this relationship or this other person, they basically came in pretending to be the same as them, and you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. you would have thought they were the real deal. You wouldn't have understood that whatever was happening from this situation from the inside out was literally being eaten away. It was like just very deceitful. And if it's not deceitful, it just like, it may have disintegrated right in front of you, or by the time that you realized whatever it was all gone. And the way that they went about it was like a really cruel manner. There would have been no need for the level of cruelty involved here, and I don't know why they felt the need to do what they did. The only thing that I can think of is that there's like an emotional immaturity that got the better of them, that was born out of some level of like insecurity or inadequacy, that when they think about it too much, it really like gets them in their head and it makes them feel trapped and they don't know what to do. And I feel like it pushes them to the brink of their mental capacity, and that it makes them feel trapped, and then it brings in this devil energy where it is really toxic. I think this brings out like a toxic you know, pattern of behavior or mentality or self-sabotage. I don't know what it is. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if someone here had like a gambling problem, right? And they were self-sabotaging by gambling and like blowing all their money, even if it wasn't on gambling, some other way that's like unhealthy, and it was how they went about it. Or maybe they like, I don't even know why, but I'm getting for some people some sort of like entrapment in a relationship or something like that. So just don't try to fit all of this. Like, you just, yeah, don't try to make it fit. You know what applies to your life. Don't take anything extra. Yeah, use your discernment here, okay? And so there's just a wide spread of scenarios coming up here that it could be. So I don't want people freaking out about something that they didn't know about when it's not the case. It's just somebody else in this group had a different version, because I feel like whatever this is, it's bizarre because I'm having trouble putting the pieces together. I don't even really know who's who during this. I'm just getting a couple different things come out and like hoping that it all makes sense so that we actually get some sort of real message come through here, or some sort of insight that's actually helpful, because that's the goal here, right? Yeah, okay, so there was like a level of cruelty here, but I feel like this person knew. They knew beforehand. It was intentful. And I feel like, what is it? It's like Gemini. Is it Nine of Swords, Gemini, and Mars? Whatever it was, I think it was unnecessary. I think it probably didn't have to be the way that it was. And I think this person made the situation out to be like much more like you or whoever has suffered here in this situation at the hand of another person, you know, through that use of cruelty. I feel like they were like made out to be like a really nefarious character. They were like made out to be a person of very ill character, like ill intent, malintent. Like they had some sort of hidden agenda that they were trying. I don't know, maybe it was like they weren't even rumored these things or had people trying to convince other people about them. It could have also just been the fact that people from the outside don't understand what this person is or what they look like or how they operate, and so this person's actually really innocent and they're just trying to get by and trying to do their thing, and they're not really harming anyone. But these other people are like, oh look, they're doing that and I don't understand it, so like they must be this or this or this or that. And then it kind of worked out really well for this really opportunistic person, because I kind of get a sense of like lying by omission when a person knows like the whole truth of the story, and they might leave out one or two key factors of the truth here that gives another person enough of the story to make their own decision, leaving out these one or two key factors that they know could have actually made all the difference in giving this person who was suffered, who was, you know, I guess victimized in some sense, the credit that they deserved in the story. It would have made all the difference. People would have gone, oh, they're not that bad. Oh, they did really try. Like, oh, they were actually honest. Oh, they did everything that they could. I think it's just this opportunistic, manipulative person really capitalized on the fact that this other person here was different. They were probably a bit quieter than usual. They probably weren't going to speak up as much. Other people probably didn't know them as well. I feel like this person that was being manipulative had already been sort of working a particular audience, and maybe like a particular group of friends or something like that, or family, or I don't know if this is like work colleagues or situations playing out here. This is really bizarre. But it's like they were already working a group of people, and like just small drops here and there, like that lying by omission, letting people believe what they want to believe instead of telling the whole truth that actually would have saved this person's reputation. Because it was like they seen this coming for a long time in advance, and they were trying to just line up all their ducks in a row, and just like they wanted the dominoes perfectly stacked, or whatever it was, like the odds stacked in their favor, so that when the time come, all they had to do was like one gentle tiny flick, and the whole thing would just come crashing down in the most perfect manner that was like man-made or calculated. This person sort of gives me like a master manipulator type of energy. Like I just it seems like a lot. I've got to be honest with you guys. I don't know who's who in this scenario, so everyone needs to take from it what they will, but I feel like there's more here. Alright, so I'm getting a really weird message for some of you. They're saying that where is it? That this person made you feel inferior, maybe with the way they treated you or something that happened. And then it's like when they realized that, or when they looked at the truth of the situation, they couldn't handle what they were confronted with. And it, you know, sort of started that trigger point of like being in their emotions and then getting in their head, and then sort of just creating this negative, toxic loop that they got stuck in. And then it just started everything spinning out of control, and just like all the crap just hit the fan, and just, yeah, I don't know. Let's see if we've got something else. Have we finished as them, or there's two cards here. I'm not sure if this person felt like they were taking a gamble by spending time with you, or vice versa. Maybe they thought that they were taking a gamble by, maybe they were just trying to see what they could get away with. Maybe they were trying to see where they could win, where they couldn't. I'm just hearing there's not a lot you could have done about this. They want you to know that, like, as a fully embodied person that you are, that I don't think there was a way that you could have picked this, so you shouldn't beat yourself up. You've got to know, you've got to have that compassion for yourself, and that like balance within to know whatever happened here. I don't think you could have seen it coming. It was near damn impossible, is what they're saying. I feel like you might be this father of water who's well known and respected in the community, and I feel like they have, that's like that same thing, their reputation precedes them. They have like a good reputation, and I think everything that they do is they act with others' needs and, like, you know, the good of all in their group. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm starting to lose words, but I'm also starting to get like a little bit emotional about it. So whatever it is, kind of fills my heart with sorrow. Yeah. Okay. What's this gamble? I think some of you took a chance on this person, thinking that they were going to be really different to how they were, or maybe it wasn't like, I don't know how to explain it, maybe it wasn't specifically this person, maybe you thought you were making a good choice, but it was like that energy of like taking a chance on like some type of new relationship, or I don't know what relationship this is, or whether it's just like, you know, friends or family or what, but for some of you, I feel like maybe the energy of like taking a gamble was kind of exciting and kind of like wild and free, or made you feel like that, or it was, I don't know, exciting or something. I'm not really sure. But I think you've all truly developed and evolved from the situation a lot. Like, I feel like you've really stepped up to the plate and you've owned it, and you've come out in such an evolved state that like you deserve credit for this. Okay. I feel like the seashells are important here. I don't know if any of you like, you know, like seashells, or have any around the house already, or if you've come across one, yeah, maybe get one for yourself just to have. I feel like you should keep it like in your pocket or at your bedside table or something like that. Maybe sleep with it if you can't, if you don't wear pockets or something, I don't know. And I feel like it would be like calming, grounding, and protecting. So yeah. Okay, is there anything else that we have? Okay, cool. No, so that's everything that we have for this reading for Aquarius. So this is for the next month going ahead. So I honestly, when I look at it, I feel like you're just trying to process things. You're just trying to like work through things. You're trying to understand what happened here. You're trying to navigate situations that have a lot of uncertainty in them. I think you're probably trying to come to terms with the fact that like you don't know how you entered into situations that you did, or the people around you. Like, there's a sense of not really knowing what's what, but like I feel like you're quite intelligent. So I feel like you've got good judgment. I feel like this person really did a number here, and you shouldn't beat yourself up about it no matter what. It's easier said than done. I think they're trying to say that if you could understand the level of cruelty here involved, you would understand the level of compassion that you would need for yourself. But I do think that Spirit is partly trying to protect you from that feeling of really, that weight of like the gravity of your situation, because it was really cruel the way that this person was. So Spirit kind of wants you to realize, so that you can realize the level of compassion that you should be having for yourself. Some of you, I feel like you might be being too hard on yourself, and it would make sense with, you know, Capricorn coming out, right? But like, they're also trying to spare you from it. It's like your team, or who Spirit themselves is trying to spare you from too much heartache at once, or too much, I don't know if some of you have been getting stuck in some anxiety and depression or something. I want to say, like, there's nothing wrong with you know, seeking therapy, and that if you think that's something that you should do, I think it's like a great idea. And you know, on point with that, like, don't take advice from a random person on the internet. You need to use discernment in the decision making that you do, and seek the appropriate medical help that you need. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that you're human. Okay, is there anything else? Some of you, I'm seeing like a bunch of flowers, and they're just like kind of brightly colored, and I'm not really sure what that's about. I don't know if some of you should just, I don't know, Spirit's like saying go out and buy yourself a bunch of flowers, because unless someone does randomly actually buy you some flowers, I thought there was maybe something else there in that gamble card in the Wheel of Fortune there, but I actually think that things are going to get better for you. It's just right now it feels really unsteady or uncertain. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that kind of summarized where we're all at. Know that you've evolved a lot through the circumstance. I feel like you've developed like a fantastic level of wisdom and character development. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're human. Have self-compassion. I think you've learned a thing or two from this person. I don't think you'd ever let it happen again, because you know what you're looking for this time. And that's all you need to worry about. Spirits trying to look out for you in all the ways they can, but they still are trying to let you develop here as you go, okay? Yeah. All right. Thanks for being here with me. If this was helpful to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in another reading. Thanks.